working with family, I think, is a great thing. I mean, I feel like you should use the resources that you have.
Did your relationships with people, have they changed at all because of the success?
Ooh.
Do you find that most of your students are predominantly women or men, or is it a good mix?
Ooh,
I mean,
see, you are really going there.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, all you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
aside from YouTube, is there any other, do you use any other marketing channels at all?
So YouTube obviously is my primary social media outlet. However, I am on TikTok, and I have a pretty big following on TikTok, a few 100,000, LinkedIn, Instagram. At some point, you have to get on all of them, and I am on every single social media platform, but it's not me running it, and I use a lot of the content that I make for YouTube, and I repurpose it amongst all of the social media. So it makes it a lot easier. So if you make a video for YouTube, you chop it up and put it on TikTok. You chop it up and put it on Instagram.
Yeah. Or your people do.
Yes, my people. Not me. I don't know how to do that.
Have you ever done, I don't even know why you would. Have you ever ran an ad in traditional broadcast media or print media or anything? Have you ever done any marketing like that?
We've started now. It's funny. That's why I said YouTube is the holy grail, because I didn't need any of those things. And now I have started, we have some billboards. We have...
For what? For what?
Of the books.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so the books. So we have, and then of course, property management. We do a lot of property management and get more properties, other people's properties, and manage them. My company does that. So we have some billboards around Orlando and Kissimmee. So now that we're looking and building other business, the print and other media has come into.
You're starting to get into that.
Yeah.
Do you get involved in that? I mean, is that part of your...
No, I take pictures and then the team puts them together, and then of course I cringe every time.
The team. Does the team involve any family members?
Yes, it does. So yes and no. So it's funny. I have a few employees that are husbands or wives of family members. Okay, so when I first started, I definitely dealt with a lot of family members in my business, and I think that is a really good thing. I know a lot of people warn against working with your brother, your sister, and your aunts, uncles, and I am all about family. I pretty much have probably worked with every single one of my family at some point in time, and in fact, my dad is one of my business partners. And
so you included them from the very beginning.
Yes and no. No. Definitely not right.
Well, not the very beginning, but I'm saying...
Once I worked out a lot of the kinks and I felt confident, I did. I started bringing in my family members. That was probably some of the first people I enrolled and felt like I should tell people this. Like, they were the first people I was telling before I ever went to YouTube to tell everyone. I'm like, I got to tell my family to change their lives. So many of them did not listen.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. So working with family, I think, is a great thing. I mean, I feel like you should use the resources that you have. If your sister is right there and she's willing to help you in your business, take your sister's help. I'm a big proponent of use the resources that you have, including your family.
Did your relationships with people, have they changed at all because of the success?
Ooh. Now, this is one where we would have to get really deep. So yes, honestly, as you grow and expand, your relationships with people grow and expand. And there's family members that, not that we don't speak as much, but there's been some divisiveness because of things that we do. But I think it's just a part of your growth. And it's with all relationships. It's like you have friends in high school, and then when you're in college or in grad school, you don't have those same friends because you're on different pathways, you're doing different things, you don't have much in common. And that's what I had to realize, that just because we're family members or we grew up together doesn't mean we have anything in common.
Yeah.
And I stopped forcing a lot of those relationships. Like I was really big on trying to keep everyone, childhood, people I knew when I was 5 and 6, and keep in contact with them. And it just, holding on to some of those relationships just became exhausting and wrong.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why do we feel like,
bad
forcing a relationship just due to, a birth?
Yes.
Or I mean,
yeah, exactly. Right. You're my cousin's thing, so I should be friends with you, and I should do this, and I should talk to you. And even though we have nothing in common, you hate my guts. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? And so, you have to let those things go, and especially as you become more wealthy.
I mean, thanks for bringing that up. I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Because do you find that you've had to make different or new friends who can relate on that level?
I had to make new friends before I even got to this level. And that was the biggest, hardest lesson for me. One of the things, as you become a millionaire, if you say, okay, I am no longer a corporate working underwriting manager, I am now this multi-million-dollar entrepreneur, those same people don't align. We don't have anything in common. They're telling me negative things about being an entrepreneur. They're giving me things that are scaring the crap out of me about being an entrepreneur. They're telling me about job opportunities that I could have. And it just was so incompatible. And then add to it, once you start to see some level of success, now you have that other group who just wants to ask and take.
Right.
Can I have a new car? Can you buy me a house? I literally have. I've gotten that so many. You know how many people have asked me to buy them a house?
No, I don't. Was that rhetorical?
Right. It's
7.
Ridiculous. But yeah, it probably is about 7. And even more people have asked me to buy a car, which I actually
just
have
little
bought.
Loans here and there?
Yes.
Or how much do you have on
Yes,
you?
correct, correct. Which I'd rather that. How much do you have on you? That's all I got. Here you go. But the houses and the cars, those are like long-term bills that I just can't do.
Yeah.
So it is not. It's not difficult. I won't say that. It wasn't hard for me to realize, to have that realization, like, okay, these people are not compatible with what I want. But it was difficult to make the decision to really change your phone number. Like, I had to change my phone number, and there's so many people that do not have my phone number now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And you'll probably have to change it again.
Correct.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
I had a close friend who was an NBA player years ago. Mm-hmm. And I still have his name and number in my phone, mm-hmm. and I can never get through because I know it's probably been 10 times that he's changed it because he gives it out to whoever,
right?
Knowing that in a few months he's gonna switch that off.
Correct.
Do you find that most of your students are predominantly women or men, or is it a good mix?
Ooh,
I mean,
see, you are really going there because this was a hot topic in our business.
I have another level I was going to go, but I don't know if it's appropriate or
no,
not.
you should, because this is the fun thing. So when I first started teaching, I called my group Women Who Win in Real Estate. I was the Women Who Win, and that was the name of our network. And after about a year in, we were completely out of integrity with that name. Most of my students were male. Most of my students were male, and most of my success stories were men. I was getting a lot of women to come and participate. I would get women to show up in droves to events. You know, they come there, they're all dolled up, they'll do the events. But when it's time to flip a house, or when it's time to actually do the business, they were not there. They were not showing up. And so I started this whole thing where I wanted to be a representative for women. I wanted to be a representative for women of color, to show them that moms, you know, corporate women, that you could quit these jobs and you could do this entrepreneurial thing. Like, I had this grandiose idea of what I was going to be and what my group was going to represent. And quite frankly, I'd rather be in integrity, and it's mostly men. I still have a lot of, I get a good audience, and a lot of my events are a good mix.
Yeah.
But most of my success stories have been men.
It's fascinating. Just the fact that your vision was the complete opposite.
Correct.
But the hard reality is.
The hard reality.
And I wonder if even that has to do with just sort of the traditional way of
I think that's what it is. I think it's just, it's going to take more time. I thought I was going to turn this thing around in a year or two. This is going to be generational. You know what I mean? I think for so long, real estate, business, entrepreneur has just been male dominant. It's just male dominated, and women see themselves, even especially when it comes to flipping houses. We could go there. We see ourselves as the designer. We pick the paint, we pick the carpet. We don't talk to the electrician or the plumber or the roof. And we got to change some of these rules.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Wow, what an amazing episode. I hope you really learned a lot. Do you want a successful YouTube channel just like me? Well, now you have the opportunity. Go to 𝗵𝗔studios.com and fill out an application to work with Nate Woodbury. He's the person responsible for my YouTube channel.
Hey there, look forward to chatting with you.
You can work directly with Nate just by going to 𝗵𝗔studios.com, filling out the application, and make sure that you tell him Noelle Randall sent you. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success. I'm ready to quit my job and I want to do this, I think I had probably $250,000 in business funding. I have platinum American Expresses with no limits, gold American Express, no limits. I could buy $1 million, swipe it in $1 million. Whatever you do, if you have a business, you should get business credit.
Yeah.